It's the Positively Petland Show, Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on 800 KXIC. Happy to have you along. I'm Jerry Lawler, and we are with the co-owner of the Iowa City Petland, Ron Solsrud. Good morning, Ron. How are you?
I am doing mighty fine.
The seasons, they are a changin'. How do you like these kind of drizzly, rainy fall mornings that we've seen over the past week?
I am anticipating snow. I like snow. I like summer. I like fall. I've been mountain biking over at Sugar Bottom and enjoying that immensely. But this morning, my sister said, "Oh, the snow is coming up in Wisconsin," and I said,
"Yeah,
hooray!" I go, "I need some cross country skiing."
I think there are going to be several people out there disagreeing with you, but...
And they can send their complaints to what?
Jerry Lawler at iHeartMedia.com. L-A-L-O-R.
Jerry needs some positive feedback.
I don't need anything.
Yes, he would appreciate it.
I would appreciate it, but I don't need anything. What are we talking about this week? A walrus?
We are talking about a walrus.
Like a serious walrus?
It is okay, so I'm going to give you a... but you can look at my notes right now, so don't look at my notes. It is a mix, so I'm not talking purebred here. And for those people that love purebreds, remember all purebreds were mixes in the past. So I'm trying to pull you on board here when people go, "Oh, I don't like mixes," and stuff like that. And so we are talking about a mix, but the name of it right now is called the
I just looked over.
Jerry was looking at my notes, and
I wanted to look at the picture. I don't read, Ron. I just look at the picture.
Well, you can see the picture. So we're going to talk about the walrus. It is a really interesting mix, and whenever I get them in the store, they go out very fast. So it is something that's really desired and popular. So we'll talk about the walrus. What is a walrus and why did they do that? And then we're going to talk about the 3 top potty training tricks. And we hit this topic somewhat frequently on this show because it is the biggest question, most frequently asked in our store. Flea and tick is up there, but also my dog has potty issues. And we even ask you the question in the store. We don't ask you, how's potty training going? Because you're going to always say, "No, it's going fine." But then we go, "How often do they urinate or, poop in the house?" And we're always shocked to hear, "Oh, once a week, once a month, kind of thing." And I'm like, you can change that with these 3 tips that we're going to
2 minutes and 45 seconds, by the way.
About what?
Till you said the word poop.
Oh, awesome.
I was keeping track.
Did I say poop in there too?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to give you those 3 tips. And if you put these 3 tips into place, chances are you will solve your issue, even with that 10-year-old dog, that 15-year-old dog even. So that's the show today.
Okay.
The walrus and the 3 potty training tips.
I want to get into the walrus. I want to know more about this because I don't think I know what this breed is, but it's in the AKC book, but it's a...
Well, the 2 breeds are.
Okay.
So this is a mixed breed.
All right.
So what do you think the 2 mixes are?
You
saw the picture
of the walrus?
Yeah.
I didn't see the picture. I am not trying to cheat. I don't have any idea. I have
Okay, just take a guess.
A Pomeranian and a poodle.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. I was just trying to...
but
a Great Dane and a German Shepherd.
Jerry, your fans right now are going, you could have done better.
I have no fans. I have no wife. A Basset Hound and
okay, that's one.
I saw the picture now.
What do you think the other one is? I'll show you. Oh, the pictures are so small you won't see it.
A Shih Tzu.
A Shar Pei.
Shar Pei. I was close.
So now, just like in your brain, put together a Shar Pei and a Basset. Don't you even... I get a picture of a walrus in that one.
I don't know what a Shar Pei looks like.
Oh, a Shar Pei is that kind of that. Well, it is from the Orient, and so it has a very long history ago, kind of a thing. It is that really wrinkly dog.
Okay.
Larger dog, kind of a shorter hair, not a long hair.
Okay, now with that visual, I can understand the walrus aspect of things.
So let's go into a little bit of why would they make the walrus? Why would somebody put these 2 breeds together?
Is that a nickname or is it actually called? Is that the name of the breed?
Well, it's not a purebred, so it's a name that people use, kind of a thing. So there's nothing official about walrus.
All right.
But
no fake news on this show, man.
No fake news. All right. So what do you know about the Shar Pei right off the top of your head?
It's wrinkly.
It's wrinkly. What else? What about the
smaller?
No, it actually is a big dog.
Short hair.
Short hair. Okay. Smaller hair. That's what you meant to say. Smaller
Yes.
hair. Yeah. So what about the temperament?
I don't know anything about a Shar Pei at
Okay.
all.
Well, a good thing to know about the Shar Pei is sometimes
This is why I need to come into the store and play with a Shar Pei so I can understand a walrus, so I can understand what.
So I typically don't have a Shar Pei in the store. And the reason being is they are what I term a pack intensive dog. So we all get into the debates of what breeds are nice and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about the characteristics by itself. And a Shar Pei is a more pack intensive dog. If you go into what they're like and all that, the history, physically, the Chinese believe the breed's scowl and the black pigmented mouth would scare off evil spirits, and their imposing presence meant that most were never challenged. And so it's an impressive dog as far as it looks its part. It's also a pack intensive dog, so it's going to protect its pack. And dogs look at us, and this is what's a social psychology behavior thing, not fact, but this is a model that we put on dogs, the pack mentality thing. Shar Peis will protect the pack. You are the pack if you hang out with that Shar Pei, and so it'll protect you. And so that whole thing of my dog didn't hurt anybody in my family, but when we go for walks, holy cow, it just going crazy, kind of thing. So it's pack intensive. It's protecting its pack. Shar Peis tend to go down that path where they're a little more aggressive on that. So what would you mix it with? Let's mix it with something that's really nice and all that.
Sure.
My goodness.
You can't get any better than the Basset.
The Basset Hound comes right into play, kind of thing. So I'm sure in the past, and they probably still are picking out different breeds to kind of modify that behavior kind of a thing. And so the Basset, though, when they mixed it, wow, it's just the cutest little puppy, and then a nice dog and all that kind of stuff. The Shar Pei, I think in another 50 years is going to be a really nice dog. Why? Because the breeders will take the nice ones and reproduce with those those nice ones. That's why all these breeds that we have today, the Boxer is a fighting dog. The English Bulldog is a bullfighting dog in a way. It antagonized the bull. All these breeds were kind of nasty in the past, but they bred the nice ones, and now they're nice ones. So Shar Pei's going down that path. It's not quite there yet. It's got a little bit of a temperament issue. Mix it with a Basset, and now you've leaped forward in the kindness side of things.
In my mind, I'm trying to make the correlation. I just picked up 2 beta fish from your store.
So I love to hear this correlation.
That the males tend to be very dominant.
Territorial.
Yeah. And I don't know much about fish, so I got a female beta and a male beta, and I put them into a 3-gallon bowl. And he is trying to take over the territory, and she often hides out underneath the plants and stuff that I have in there. Very similar to what you were just talking about. The breed it's just innate that they're going to be territorial like that and a little bit of a bully, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
you can't train a fish. You don't train a fish, so that's innately inside that fish.
And that here we're doing better with communicating with dogs. And there are people that actually communicate with fish in, I'm not saying words and stuff. And you can train a fish in some ways. In fact, those people already know that they can train their fish, because when you walk up to a tank and you open the lid, do you know what fish normally do?
They're going to go up to the top.
Why?
Because that's where the food is.
They're trained that food will come.
I know that much, Ron.
So that's training a fish. So now you can use that and go more advanced on training a fish. That's how we work with dogs. Hey, well, I noticed when I did this, the dog liked it, kind of a thing, and it did it again. So that's how we train things. It's how we train each other, in fact.
So what are some tips are we done with the breed of the week?
We are done with the breed. If you could fill for just a second, because we are about to go live on Facebook.
Well, the thing I was going to say also is how much stuff you have in the store. It's absolutely amazing. I equate you to kind of, I don't want to say a swap meet. It's a little bit more organized than that. But you have a ton of stuff inside that store, from rabbits, and it had a full house. And it almost seemed like I stopped over on, I guess it was Thursday or Friday last week. It It's almost like you had Girl Scouts or something in there. There was like a pack of girls over the noon hour, and they were all swooning over the dogs.
Yes, that would be everything from the college ladies to the high school girls to all sorts of different groups that come in. And yes, we also do Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts and 4-H and all that kind of stuff. We bring those groups in, or they come in, and we do training with them and all that kind of stuff. So.
Speaking of training,
well, no, we're not going to talk. Oh, well, we are going to talk about training. I was still back on the Shar Pei Basset. All right, so we are going to go into the training portion of our show. We're going to cover 3 tips, training tips to use on how to potty train your dog. And this applies to whether you have a puppy all the way up to that elderly dog that doesn't have health issues, but can use a little bit of more training on potties. Okay, so the first tip, and we're going to hit 3 sections on the Facebook. First tip on there that we're going to record is the kennel. The most important tool to get for your dog is the kennel. Now, I know I got a lot of people that just said, wait, I don't want to put my dog in a cage. You would put your infant in a crib, step back, look at it. Yep, it looks like a cage too. So let's get over the cage thing and say, this is a safe place for my dog for sleeping and all that kind of stuff, including potty training. We had a sneeze in the background. And so how do you do that? Hey, you know, when you bought that kennel, there was that little that wall that was like not part of the kennel and stuff. That's used for potty training. Put it back in the kennel, tighten up that kennel so that it's really small. So if the puppy or the dog can poop in one section and move it over into the other section, or pee, you need to scrunch it up. Dogs are denning animals. This is what they do in the wild, and they don't poop or pee in the den. They always go outside to do it. So it's a natural instinct that we're working with here. So take it tight. Sometimes you got to take it really tight. This is a short period of time, not a long period of time. And we're going to work with the dog on training. So overnight, if they poop or pee in there, they learn by sitting in it. And I know that's not comfortable and all that kind of stuff. When in the morning, you're going to have to clean it up if there was an accident. But that's how they learn. So in the morning, let's say there is no accident in there, you're going to pick the dog up at the beginning because they don't quite know your pattern, and you're going to walk outside and put them down outside. So that's how you use the kennel, is getting it tight so that they can't poop or pee and then move somewhere else. And know as soon as they get out of the kennel, just like in the wild, they're going to want to go potty because I got to go really bad. So pick them up prevents them from going immediately, and you can put them down outside so that they go outside. That is that's training tip number 1. So if you could hit stop right now, that would be good.
Director Ron Solsrud, Iowa City Petland. It is the PAWSitively Petland show on 800 KXIC. I'm just stopping it for right now. We'll pick up with number 2.
Oh, there we go. Restart. No, here, I just got to put a word in.
Was that annoying you?
No, I was able to block it out, actually.
And so potty training tip number 2 has something to do with odor removal and enzymes, I'm assuming.
You went beyond the words. All right, he's reading it right off the Facebook. All right, the second thing is to know that when your dog or cat urinates, and this is specifically on urinating, you can use this on the poop side of too as well, but the urination, when they do that in the house, they leave a mark. Every dog, every cat, every time they urinate leaves a mark. It's not something that you have that special dog that does that. They all do that. So when they leave their mark, if they have an accident, let's say it was a puppy and it had the accident in the house, or let's say you went to the veterinarian, things got a little nervous, or you know, had a little anesthetic or something, and you bring your dog home and has an accident. let's say you were out on the town, out a little too long, and you know what? That's not the dog's fault, but that was your fault that you didn't get home. But they had to go, so they went, and it was right in, you know, in the foyer or wherever that happened. Every time they urinate, that's a mark, and you're going to have a situation where, hey, my dog was fine before, but now is starting to urinate, and it's in the same spot. That's because they're going back, and I like to call that smell that they smell is a permission to pee. So they pee there because, oh, I can urinate here. You know that look on the dog's face because you go by the trees and the fire hydrants and all those different things, and the dog sniffs something and then like can't wait to pee. That's the permission to pee smell. When you get it in your house, now you got to get it rid of it, because a good dog that's well trained and a cat that's well trained is going to revert back to urinating, because now you have a new place for that dog or cat to urinate. So use a stain and odor remover with an enzyme in it. The enzyme is bacteria that is, well, it's not the bacteria, but we'll go into that. There's bacteria in the bottle of the Petland stain and odor remover that we have in our store. There's bacteria in there. When they get down into the where the urination is, the bacteria then produces enzymes, and the enzymes removes that permission to pee smell. So it is the only product out there, the enzyme is the only product out there that removes that permission to pee. And you got to use it liberally. You can't just spray. You got to glug, because it's got to seep into everywhere where that urine is. So use that, blot it up. It's actually a good stain and odor remover. Some other uses that we have in our house, and a lot of people else do, they use it in the washing machine with their own clothes. So you use your detergent and then put that in the softener side of things, and it's really good with removing odors as well. But you definitely use it for potty training. That was step 2.
And so lots of different steps, lots of different techniques. And what is step 3?
Step 3 is going to come here, and I just killed it. For some reason, it's taking a while to.
It's easier for me just to hop back in after and then trying to fill.
I think there's posting, but the app is
suffering.
It stops for some reason. You're hitting the red button, right?
I am. Three minutes left. You ready?
I am ready. All right. That's step 3 now. Is we've talked about the, how to treat it like a den and have them not poop or pee in the house with using a kennel. And then we went in and said, oh, we got to clean up the messes when they have. Let's talk about encouraging them to go outside. Encouraging is the next step, because we know that discouraging is very difficult. Running their nose in the poop doesn't work. Don't do it. Yelling doesn't work. Scaring them doesn't work. You actually promote them to do it again, kind of thing. Oh, the dogs like to eat poop. So when you do that, they just think, oh, you want me to eat the poop. So that doesn't work. Treats work very, very well. And with treats, this is more of a consistency and frequency kind of a thing. So it takes time to do this part. So when you have your dog or your cat urinates in the litter box, or your dog urinates out in the yard, have a treat ready for them immediately. And I'm not saying 2 seconds later, I'm saying immediately. Don't wait till they come in the door. You have the treat ready for them right away.
Can you give it to them while they're pooping or peeing?
That's what I do. I have the treat. In fact, my dogs, when they were going through this training period, they would look at my pocket because they knew the treat was in there. And then all of a sudden they would squat, and I would go, oh, I love this, and then I have that treat right in their nose. So they're smelling it. They might even start licking it. My dogs tend to not want it while they're doing it. I just have it right there ready for them. And when they're all done, they get it. Lickety sticks, if you haven't heard about these, are really, really cool. It's like a roll kind of a thing with a treat on it. And you just open it up, give it to them, and then they lick it right up. You're encouraging the behavior while it's happening. And that's what you want to do for training with a dog, is encourage them immediately when they're doing whatever you want them to do with a treat. In this case, pottying outside.
And there you have it, the 3 tips on potty training. 90 seconds, Ron. Tell us a little bit about Petland of Iowa City.
We're Petland of Iowa City, located at the Marketplace Mall. That is right across from Lucky's Market. Just come into the parking lot, you see the big Petland sign. Come in and play. If you already have a pet, we have our dog food and our cat food on a buy 10, get 1 free. We track it for you, so it's that easy. And then we also have $5 nail trims. Just bring in your vaccination schedule. Don't make an appointment or anything. Just come on in and we'll take care of you.
Hey, guess what?
It's really that easy.
You can't beat a $5 nail trim.
You can't. Somebody tried and they couldn't.
And also, with the weather changing, you have a lot of apparel for your pets there.
Yeah,
as well.
our apparel is all coming in. We do have sweatshirts right now. I love the brand that we have. I found it 2 years ago. You can get these jackets on, in this case a sweatshirt, within about 2 seconds. And that's what I loved about the brand. They're also economically priced, where you get what you paid for. You pay a low price in this case, and you get a really good product, a reasonable price, I would say. But you can get it on in 2 minutes. It's just boom, boom, boom. We'll demonstrate it to you right there in the store. So we've got all that and more in the store, and you can't beat that $5 nail trim.
Positively Petland show Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on Iowa City's news and sports station, 800 KXIC. Have a great week, Ron.
Thank you.
Go, go, go.